Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Sahih Muslim. Imam Muslim, Muslim ibn Hajjaj, Book 1, the Book of Faith, Kitab Iman, chapter 1. It is narrated on the authority of Yahya bin Ya'mur that the first man who discussed about Qadr, divine decree, in Basra was Mabad al-Juhani, along with Humayd bin Abdurrahman Himyari, set out for pilgrimage or for Umrah, and said, "Should it so happen that we come into contact with one of the companions of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we shall ask him about what is talked about Taqdir, division decree." Accidentally, we came across Abdullah ibn Umar ibn al-Khattab while he was entering the mosque. My companion and I surrounded him. One of us stood on his right and the other stood on his left. I expected that my companion would authorize me to speak. I therefore said, "Abu Abdurrahman, there have appeared some people in our land who recite the Holy Quran and pursue knowledge." And then, after talking about their affairs, indeed added, such people claim that there is no such thing as divine decree and events are not predestined. He, Abdullah bin Umar, said, "When you happen to meet such people, tell them that I have nothing to do with them and they have nothing to do with me, and verily they are in no way responsible for my belief." Abdullah bin Umar saw by him the Lord and said, "If any one of them who does not believe in the divine Qadr had with him gold equal to the bulk of the mountain Uhud, and then eat in the way of Allah, Allah will not accept it unless he affirmed his faith in divine decree." He further said, "My father Umar ibn Khattab told me, one day we were sitting in the company of Allah's Apostle, peace be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when there appeared before us a man dressed in pure white clothes, his hair extraordinarily black. There was no sign of travel on him. None amongst us recognized him. At least he sat with the Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He knelt before him, placed his palms on his thighs, and said, Muhammad, inform me about Islam." The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Al-Islam implies that you testify that there is no God in truth but Allah, and that Muhammad is the Messenger of Allah, and you establish prayer, pay zakat, observe the fast of Ramadan, and perform pilgrimage to the house. If you are solvent enough to bear the expense of the journey." He, the inquirer, said, "You have told the truth." He, Umar al-Khattab, said, "It amazes us that he will put the question and then he will reply, and he will put the question and then he will himself verify the truth." He, the inquirer, said, "Inform me about Iman, faith." He, the Prophet ﷺ, replied, "That you affirm your faith in Allah, in His angels, in His books, in His apostles, in the day of judgment, and you affirm your faith in the divine decree about good and evil." He, the inquirer, said, "You have told the truth." He, the inquirer, again said, "Inform me about Al-Ihsan, performance of good deeds." He, the Prophet, said, "That you worship Allah as if you are seeing Him, for though you don't see Him, He verily sees you." He, the inquirer, again said, "Inform me about the hour of the doom." He, the Prophet ﷺ, remarked, "One who is asked knows no more than the one who is inquiring about it." He, the inquirer, said, "Tell me some of its indications." He, the Prophet ﷺ, said, "That the slave girl will give birth to her mistress and master, that you will find barefooted destitute goat herds vying with one another in the construction of magnificent buildings." He, the narrator, Umar bin Khattab, said, "Then he, the inquirer, went on his way, but I stayed with him, the Holy Prophet, for a long while. He then said to me, 'Umar, do you know who this inquirer was?' I replied, 'Allah and His Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam knows best.' He, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, remarked, 'He was Jibril alayhi salam, the angel. He came to you in order to instruct you in the matters of religion.'"